I'm going to build a Snapdax commander with standard deck. We're in 5-set standard, which is the hardest standard to build a commander deck from. Although all sets are large, and that's on the plus side of the ledger. On the negative side of the ledger, Snapdax is all about mutating, and the way these sets are playing out after Ravnica 3 rotated, each set is kind of living in its own world, so it's going to be really hard to make very synergistic decks with synergy out of these cards. And so the strategy that I'm going to go through today is one that I think most people would say it's guaranteed to fail, but I'm going to try it anyways. And that is give Snapdax all the mutate support that I can find, and then do white-red warriors, which are mostly human, which means that I cannot mutate onto them, and knights, which are also mostly human, mostly in white and black, and so that's not really a good strategy to work with, and that's going to be the problem with any commander with standard deck for this 5-set standard. You can pick a 2-color commander, and that's easier. But I guess I'll do some of those too, but really those are actually better in Brawl, like I've already built. I'm not sure that it's worth doing 2-color commander decks with a 5-set standard with the current sets, how they really don't talk to each other that much. So I'm going to try this. Let's see what happens. Maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised. I've been thinking about it and going through the cards. I think we can do something, all right? And if we can't, we will know it by the end. But it's always interesting to go through these exercises of what can be done. Always entertain the impossible and make it possible. I think that's an interesting deck challenge. Okay. So this is the Mardu spell. It's a sorcery. It's really kind of like a balance. So each player chooses some permanents and then sacrifice the rest. And I'll put it in just for flavor, and I think it's a good card too. Then there's the enchantment for Mardu. Destroy all non-land permanents your opponents control. That's pretty brutal. It's very good. And then the other enchantment for Mardu. At the beginning of combat on your turn, exile target red, white, or black creature card from your graveyard. Create a token that's a copy, except it's a 1/1. The dance that we're going to play is, can we keep, and then we're going to go for like 40 cards for creatures. Can we keep our warriors happy? Can we keep our knights happy? And can we keep mutate happy, all in the same commander deck? I'm going to try. All right, I'm going to try. So let's first go through the mutate wing of the deck, which I think is the primary wing of the deck. Okay, so these cards, of course, all have mutate, are not human, okay, and they're all in the deck just because I really want to help the commander with its mutate wing, if you will, and this will allow me to operate with a commander even when I start drawing human warriors and human knights. Okay, so I think all of these cards are in. And again, this is this video is going to be the what to build, so I'm not going to start putting things in piles yet. But these guys are all in. All right, and this is a total of 4, 8, 12, 15. So that's pretty good. It's almost half the creatures have mutate to support Snapdax, and then I can have like a little. I mean, if you think of it as 16. Then 24 is the rest, 12 and 12. So 12 knights, 12 warriors, the best ones. And I think that could work. Maybe like even 10 of each, and then 4 really good cards that are neither warriors nor knights. Although this guy, of course, has the unfortunate happenstance of being human. But for example, Ayara is not a human. So, and it's also not a warrior or a knight. So let's go through some of the cards. So the good thing about this deck is, equipment's going to be really good in this deck because there is equipment that favors knights and equipment that favors wizards. I mean, I'm sorry. There is, but I'm not going to put it here. That favors warriors. Okay, so that's already going to help the non-creature spells for the deck. Okay, and then there's going to be some multicolored goodies as well that I think are going to fit the deck. And of course, mega cards like this one that definitely belong in the deck. And they're not in any tribe and they don't care about mutate. But they can be mutated onto or under. For example, an Elder Giant, that's going to help. Vampire Noble, this guy is great. Now, I'm not going to be on a gain life thing, but I will have enough white, okay? So there's going to be some interesting synergies to play with, and just some cards that are outright good that belong in the deck, like this guy because he's a card draw engine. And this guy who's got a stapled mana rock to it. I'm not really on food tokens, but I'm just going to be going through a lot of cards just to see how they would work. It's a lot of cards. We have 5 large sets in standard. So 5 set standard is not as small as it used to be, and that's really wonderful. This guy is another keeper. Very good, and you can use it with mutate. So that's going to be a major plus of any card. It'll either be like a really, really good warrior or a really, really good knight, or it'll have to be something that is not human. That's kind of like the strategy that I'm going to follow in this deck. This guy is actually pretty good because it itself doesn't do anything, but if you tap it, your creatures gain haste until end of turn when you tap it. I like that a lot. Then parking tokens, parking counters. We're not on a counters deck. Could be good. This guy is great, very good. Give us something lifelink. Also very good because it protects, gives hexproof. Yeah, has hexproof. I'm not sure how many flyers we're going to have. We may need to tag on a flyer on something. We may get to give a flying. So some good weapons. Then we're on to our knights, okay? And of course, our knights, anything that is not a human knight is going to go in first, unless it's the Lord. The Lord has to go in because this is going to boost every knight. And then we'll just put in really good knights. Some will be human and we'll have to deal with that. But the human knights, unless they're extraordinary, will not make the cut. Okay, so that's for knights. Like this guy's a zombie knight. He's perfect because he can be mutated and he can help knights. Couldn't ask for anything more. So yeah, we're gonna limit human at all costs, and so anything that is a human that comes in here has to be outrageously good, like this guy. Okay. And then there's a few spells that help knights. We'll consider them. Yeah. So that's it for that pile of cards. Then, and I had to hit the tripod at one point or another. Sorry about that. Then equipment that favors warriors. I mean, something like this is fantastic. A goblin and a warrior, not a human. So non-human warriors are going to be doing great. This guy is fantastic, but it's a human warrior. So we'll see how that plays out. Very similar artwork. Could almost be confused one for the other. But definitely anything human is gonna be taking a backseat unless it's amazing. And maybe it really cannot be amazing because we want to mutate the living daylights out of cards in here, or mutate as much as we can. Now, can you imagine if there have been 2 full sets of Ikoria? Then these guys would have been made into amazing mutate decks. It would have been beastly. It's not going to happen. And that's the problem that we have now. And by the sets that have been announced, I think we're going to have that in 2021. We're going to have a lot of cards, but I'm not sure how much synergy we're going to have for the 3-color mutate commanders out of Ikoria, which I really want to build to. I mean, 3-color commanders are really good to build to. Of course, it's a human, but it's also a warrior. Very nice. So yeah, human knight, human warrior. There you go. We're going to have to take that in just to help all of our warriors. So we'll see how that goes. And then, and I think what I'll do for the creatures is, even before I pile them, I'll go through a selection, because this is too many cards to put into a pile. Maybe, I think, I don't know. We'll see. I got to get my numbers right, so I think I'm going to keep them separate. And then, of course, we have white, and these are ordered creature, non-creature. Something like this is really good, even though he's a human. Yeah, you gain a bunch of life. Start tapping 4/4 white Angels of Flying. It's really nice. Or this guy, very good card. We're not on enchantments, but I love playing this card. So we'll see how that goes. But we have a really, really large selection right now. And I just want to have fun coming up with something that is tight. This is very, very loose with such a large number of cards. This guy's in for sure. And I'm not sure that we're on enchantments, but we may want to tutor for them. Even if we don't have like a whole bunch of them. Maybe we will. I don't know. I'll see how I think about the deck. And of course, this guy is great because it'll help everybody. Okay, so maybe I will try a little bit of an enchantment theme, and I'll try to hit the tripod as many times as possible. I have more black cards and white or red, but that's just in the selection. When I get down to the cards themselves, I'll definitely try to have balance. But look at that. We have some great tutoring in here, so that should be good. That should allow us to play with our strategies. This guy is a human, but he's very disruptive. It's really good when he comes in and you look at your opponent's deck. So we're going to have some humans in here that we take in for all types of things that we want to do. But yeah, and of course I picked already. This is not all of the cards in Standard that I have. I already went through a pre-selection, so I wouldn't have 400 cards to go through. But yeah, good stuff all around. And so I think what I'll do in the next video is nail down what I think are my maybe like 10 warriors and 10 knights, and then go hunting for good creatures. And it'll be a very limited number, so it's going to be cut down by a lot. And this is the red cards. I don't think they have been ordered. But yeah, there's some fantastic creatures that need to be in the deck, like this guy. So yeah, that kind of sets the tone for the build. And so I think in the next video what I'll do is get my knights and warriors, basically a creature selection, but they're not going to be in piles. They're going to be by groups. And then I'll do the piles, and then we'll see how they look, and if I have to go back to the cards that I got rid of. Okay, so this is going to be a prickly pear of a build, a Snapdax, mutate with some warriors, some knights.